What's going on, my YouTube people? 2099 back here with another video. In today's video, I'm honored to be joined by my good friend Shayan. How are you doing, my friend?
I'm doing really well, Arya. Thank you so much for having me on. And I'm more honored that I am here with you than you are honored for me to be here. So the roles are actually reversed. I'm playing the Uno reverse card on you.
In today's video, we're going to be previewing and predicting the Tunisia-Iran friendly that's going to be played in a few days just before the World Cup. But before we do so, if you guys are new to the channel, please make sure to smash that subscribe button, smash that like button as well. I'm very close to 3,000 subscribers. Of course, smash the subscribe button for Mr. Shayan as well. All of his links on his socials will be down in the description for you guys to go and check out. And yeah, without further ado, let's get started. So the first thing we're going to be talking about is the lineups and such, who's going to start for either team. So for Iran, really, I think it's going to be the main team, main players that we usually see, Taremi and such. I'm not sure if Osmoon's going to be starting. I think he's going to be on the bench. He might not even play at all. That's something I'm not quite sure of. What do you think?
I think this is a game where I want to see a lot of rotation. If anything, I don't even necessarily want to see a lot of our starters play for a long period of time in this game. What we want to see is maybe we play our starting team in like the first half or second half in regards to just play 45 minutes. I want everyone to kind of just be fit, kind of see where everyone's fitness levels are, see where everyone's at. And I think this will be mainly an assessment for Carlos Queiroz just before the game against England, because I think he knows, and I think we all know what's Iran's best starting 11, maybe minus one or two players, but like 80% of it we know. I think this game will be something for us to, get ourselves mentally, start getting us into that preparation, because now we went from Nicaragua, who was a team that's not very, I'm sorry to that national team, not great. And that's why we didn't play a lot of our best players. And now we're playing a team that is at the World Cup and could possibly be similar to what Iran could do at the World Cup, could be a sleeper nation and could get out of that group. And so both of these, I think national teams will look at it as play some of your starters, just keep them fit. You don't want, I think the biggest thing is you don't want any injuries out of this game. Hopefully that won't be the case. And you just want to just see everyone's fitness levels and just get everyone prepared for that first match against England, because as well for Tunisia, this will be important for them, because their first match will be important. They need to probably get 3 points out of their game. And same thing for Iran, as their first game against England will be massive.
So you were talking about injuries. We unfortunately got a huge injury in that Nicaragua game. Umid Ibrahimi, he will not be at the World Cup, and it's just very unfortunate. A player that is a huge addition for us, he won't be there anymore, and that is something we do not want to see in a Tunisia game. I don't want to see big players getting injured, particularly players that are very useful. It is a game where players will need to be fit and ready to go for the World Cup, like you said, Shayna. Now, the biggest thing is for Tunisia is that they also have a lot of star players. They've got Hannibal Mejbri, who used to play for United, now is at Birmingham. There is that Shikri guy who plays in the Bundesliga. There's obviously Wahabi Kazri that everyone knows. So there are some good players to watch out for as well. I'm not expecting a huge scoreline. I think it's going to be quite a close game simply because I don't think both teams are going to go at it. It's just a friendly to prepare for the World Cup. What do you think?
Yeah, I think similar along the lines of what you said is I don't think we should put much stock into this game, similarly to the previous friendly that we had that we won 1-0. I don't think we should put much stock into it. I think the Uruguay-Senegal game were games to definitely put stock into, because that was where Carlos Queiroz's first games back. We kind of wanted to see how does the team now play now that Dragan Skocic is gone. I think these ones are more of we don't want any injuries, any more injuries. We just want players to be fit, start mentally preparing, getting themselves into the zone, building that little bit of chemistry before the England game. For the most part, I think this team has a lot of chemistry with each other, know who's going to play, as I said earlier. And, we just don't want to be walking out with any injuries. And I think the same thing with Tunisia. And yeah, the scoreline is not very important. I could see this ending maybe 1-1, 0-0, something very bland and boring. So don't put much stock into it, but I could see something along those lines.
It is important to know that this game will actually not be televised and broadcasted. Probably not even going to be played in an official stadium. It might be just at a training ground or something. So there's no way of us to actually watch the game, unfortunately. But with that being said, all of that comes into consideration. What are your predictions?
Yeah, as I said, if I were to put like a proper prediction, I'm leaning towards 1-1 or maybe 2-1 for Iran, for bias reasons. But, just to keep the video interesting, I'll say Iran wins this game 2-1. I'm hoping Mehdi gets a goal because he's going to be a key player for us. Obviously, he got an assist right before his last game with FC Porto. Kind of want him to be in form. As you said, I don't think Sardar Azmoun will play in this game, but one thing I would like to see is maybe he get a little bit of minutes if possible, maybe like 10, 20 minutes with the team, just so he can start getting ready for the possible. I don't think he'll feature in the England game unless shit hits the fan. In the Wales game and the US game, where I think Sardar Azmoun will be the most useful in those two matches, because I think Mehdi can hold it down against England in that first game, but I really need Sardar to be 100% fit, ready to go. come the second and third game for us. But I'll go with a 2-1 win for Iran. I think Mehdi will get on the scoreline, and let's throw in, let's say a defender scores. Let's say Kanani gets a goal for us in that game. I could so see something off a corner or set piece, and then someone on Tunisia will score. I don't know who it'll be.
For me, it'll be very boring. Judging by the previous scorelines of the Uruguay game, the Senegal game, and the Nicaragua game, I'm just going to go and say 1-0 again. I think it'll be just a standard Taremi goal. Nothing too crazy. And talking about that Nicaragua game as well, where I believe we should have probably won that game by more goals than just 1-0. I think it was a pretty disappointing game for all of us. So hopefully that doesn't reproduce here with Tunisia. I hope we can show what we're actually made of, because those domestic players, listen, I know a lot of people like to hate on them because they're not as good as the players that usually start, but they were pretty disappointing. A 1-0 victory for Iran, Taremi with the winner. Only thing that I really want out of this game is just for us and the whole team to go out with no injuries, nothing too crazy. I want us to be fit and ready for this World Cup, because listen, we're facing England. We can't go in with some injuries and such, right?
Yeah, I mean, you want to go into that England game prepared mentally, because I think this will be a game where it will be very exhausting mentally for these players, because they're going to have to be in the zone for 90 minutes in that game. No mistakes. We want to keep every X, Y, and Z factor that could possibly happen out of it. And we want to make sure we go against the grain and somehow pull out with some sort of points in that England game, because I think that will really set the tempo for the rest of the group. If Iran can pull out some sort of points in that game, I think it starts here with the Tunisia game, getting everyone fit, finally getting this team together and whatnot, and no injuries, nothing like that, and just start the good flow to hopefully a historic World Cup for Iran.
So that's going to be pretty much it for this Tunisia-Iran friendly preview and predictions. Like I said, if you guys are new to the channel, hit that subscribe button, like the video, join all my socials. The same goes for Sean as well. All the links will be down for you guys to check out. And with that being said, thank you, Sean, for being in this. Much love. And I'll see you guys in the next one.
Damn, I'm on red alert.